So this is the second class of Cbse class 9 chapter 1. The chapter name is number system. So today first we discussed about how can we locate irrational numbers on number line. Okay, how can we locate irrational number? So which are the irrational number? The number which cannot be written in the form p by q, right? Like root 2, root 3, root 5, these are irrational number. So that type of number today I locate on number line. Let's see how can we locate that type of number on the number line. So before start we have a note. The note is to locate root of n, we have to locate root of n minus 1. So what do you mean by this? Root n, to locate root n you have to locate first root of n minus 1. That is, if you want to locate root 2, then first you have to locate root over 2 minus 1. That means root 1. If you want to locate root 5, then first you have to locate root 4. That means 2. If you want to locate root 3, then you have to locate first root n minus 1, like this. Suppose you want to locate root 2, then first you have to locate root over 2 minus 1. This is equal to root 1. This is equal to, first you have to locate 1. Then you can locate root 2 on number line, like root 3. So 3 minus 1, this is equal to root 2. So first you have to look at root 2, then you can look at root 3. Same as for root 5. Root 5 minus 1, this is equal to root 4. This is equal to 2. Okay. So this is the note to locate any irrational number on the number line. Now the question is, how can we locate any irrational number on the number line? Let's see. So to locate irrational number, we use Pythagoras theorem. So what was the statement of Pythagoras theorem? Pythagoras theorem statements is, in a right angle triangle, hypotenuse square is equal to base square plus height square. Hypotenuse square equal to base square plus height square. This theorem we use to plot or to locate a irrational number on the number line. So first I locate root 2 on the number line. Let's see, root 2 on the number line. So what was the theorem? If you want to locate root 2, then first you have to locate root 2 minus 1. Root 2 minus 1. Root 2 minus 1 equal to root 1. That means 1. First you have to locate 1, then you can locate root 2. So first locate 1 on the number line. Draw a number line. This is the number line. This is 0, 1, 2, minus 1, minus 2. Okay. So first locate 1. So this is the 1. Okay. Now draw a perpendicular on this point. Draw a perpendicular on this point of length 1. Of length 1. So this is the perpendicular on 1. So this is also 1 and this is 1. So what was the length of hypotenuse? This is, according to Pythagoras theorem, root of 1 square plus 1 square. This is equal to root 2. 1 square plus 1 square. Base is 1, height is also 1. So what was the length of hypotenuse? This is 1 square plus 1 square. This is equal to root 2. Now taking root 2, this hypotenuse as radius, draw an arc and that touch the initial number line at this point, and this is the root 2. Okay, this is the root 2. So what was the process? So first we have to note about that note. If you want to locate root 2, then first you have to locate root 1. That means 1. That's why first I locate 1, then draw a perpendicular of length 1. Then what was the length of the hypotenuse? It's 1 square plus 1 square equal to root 2. So this height of perpendicular all time it 1. Okay, height of perpendicular it's all time 1 for root 5, root 3. For every irrational number all the time you have to take this perpendicular of length 1 unit. Okay, so what was the length of hypotenuse? It's root 2. Then taking this as radius, draw an arc and that touch the number line at this point, and this is the root 2. To locate root 3 on the number line, according to that note, first what we have to locate? First we have to locate root 3 minus 1 is equal to root 2. That already we locate on the number line in the previous question. Okay, that already we locate on the number line in the previous question. Now this portion is root 2. This portion on the number line is root 2 and this portion is 1. Okay, now this is root 2, then I draw a perpendicular of length 1. Okay, in every irrational number, to plotting every irrational number, the length of the perpendicular is always 1. That I already discussed. Okay, length of the perpendicular is always 1. So this is root 2 and this portion is 1. Now what is the length of this hypotenuse? This is root 2 square plus 1 square is equal to root 3. Okay, root 2 square plus root 1 square, root 2 square plus 1 square equal to root 3, because base square plus height square, 2 square plus 1 square equal to root 3 according to Pythagoras theorem. So this is root 3. Now draw an arc taking root 3 or this hypotenuse as radius, then that arc touched the axis at this point and this is the root 3. This point is the root 3. Okay, similarly if you want to locate root 5 on the number line, then you first locate root 5 minus 1 is equal to root 4 is equal to 2. So first you have to locate 2 on the number line, then you can locate root 5 on the number line according to that note. So this is the 2 on the number line. Now draw a perpendicular of length 1 and this portion is 2 and this portion is 1 and this portion is 2. So what is the length of the base? It's 2 unit and length of the height is 1 unit. So draw an hypotenuse, and what was the length of this hypotenuse? It's 2 square plus 1 square is equal to root 5. Again taking this hypotenuse as radius, draw an arc and that touched the initial number line at this point and this is the root 5. So this was the total process of the plotting irrational number on the number line. First you have to locate that number minus 1, root of that number minus 1, then you can draw that irrational number that is written in the note. So this is the total process. How can we plot irrational number on the number line?